You try to do things right. You eat pretty clean, you get some exercise, and on the surface, you feel healthy. But what if I told you that lurking inside your most common everyday habits are silent dangers? These are threats that don't send up a red flag. They don't announce themselves with big, obvious symptoms, but they are insidiously at work, impacting both your body and your mind right now. I'm not talking about some rare, exotic disease. I'm talking about things so common, so baked into our modern 2025 lives, that we barely give them a second thought. It's a well-established comparison, but one the United States Surgeon General reiterated in a major 2023 advisory. One of these risks is as dangerous to your long-term health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And it's not what you think. The scariest part, most of us won't notice these threats until the damage is already well underway. In this video, we are pulling back the curtain on 5 of these hidden health risks. We'll break down what they are, why they're so dangerous, and most importantly, give you simple, actionable steps you can start taking today to protect yourself. Let's get into it. First up is one of the most widespread and invisible threats: metabolic syndrome. This isn't a single disease, but a dangerous cluster of conditions that dramatically hikes up your risk for heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. We're talking high blood pressure, high blood sugar, extra body fat around the waist, and out-of-whack cholesterol levels. You might feel totally fine. That's the trap. You can walk around for years with these markers creeping up with no symptoms at all. Globally, the prevalence of metabolic syndrome is soaring, now affecting up to 1 in 3 adults in the United States and about 1 in 4 in the UK. This explosion is fueled by our modern lifestyles, sitting more and eating a diet heavy in processed foods. It's a perfect storm for a metabolic disaster. When you have 3 or more of these conditions, your body is in a state of chronic inflammation and often insulin resistance, meaning your cells can't properly absorb sugar from your blood. Think of it like a slow-burning fire inside your body. It doesn't hurt day to day, but over time it damages your arteries, strains your heart, and messes with your hormones, setting the stage for a catastrophic health event. And this isn't just an old person's problem anymore. With childhood obesity on the rise, we're now seeing metabolic syndrome in kids and teens, starting them on a dangerous path way too early. This is not a life sentence. Metabolic syndrome is highly manageable and even reversible with lifestyle changes. First, get a checkup. You have to know your numbers, your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar. Knowledge is power. Second, focus on whole foods. Ditch the ultra-processed snacks and sugary drinks. A great tool is the plate rule. Fill half your plate with vegetables, a quarter with lean protein, and a quarter with complex carbs like whole grains. Third, move your body. You don't need to run a marathon. Just walking 6,000 steps a day can significantly cut your risk for cardiovascular disease. The goal is simply to be intentional about breaking up long periods of sitting. The second hidden risk is something we all feel from time to time. But when it becomes chronic, it's one of the most serious public health crises of our time: loneliness and social isolation. In our hyper-connected digital world, we are somehow more disconnected than ever. The World Health Organization now reports that about 1 in 6 people globally feel lonely. We often confuse being alone with being lonely. You can be in a crowded room and still feel deeply isolated if you lack meaningful connection. Things like remote work, relying on social media for our interactions, and a culture that glorifies being busy have created a true epidemic of isolation. The US Surgeon General was blunt when he said the health risk of prolonged loneliness is equivalent to smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day. It's not just a feeling, it's a physiological threat. Chronic loneliness increases the risk of heart disease by 29%, stroke by 32%, and dementia in older adults by a shocking 50%. It weakens your immune system, drives up inflammation, and fuels mental health struggles like depression and anxiety. And surprisingly, it's often younger people, those aged 18 to 24, who report the highest feelings of isolation. The answer isn't just to meet more people, it's about quality over quantity. Focus on nurturing a few emotionally safe, supportive connections with trusted friends or family. Make a real effort to schedule in-person time. Call a friend instead of just sending a text. Plan a weekly coffee or a walk. Get involved in a community activity, whether it's a hobby group, a volunteer organization, or a local club. And here's a big one: be mindful of your social media. While it can feel like connection, studies show that overdoing it can actually make you feel even more isolated. So, this leads us right to our third hidden risk: the relentless mental tax of digital overuse. Our screens are an undeniable part of modern life, but their unfiltered round-the-clock presence is, honestly, rewiring our brains for anxiety and distraction. In 2025, the average American checks their phone a staggering 144 times a day. Many of us spend upwards of 7 hours a day just staring at screens. And while this isn't just a bad habit, for many it's actually a dependency. Social media platforms are engineered to keep you hooked, creating this compulsive need to check, scroll, and react. This constant flood of information, notifications, and social comparison creates a state of perpetual low-grade anxiety. The mental health fallout is, honestly, pretty stark. Recent studies show a clear and significant link between excessive digital engagement and a higher risk of depression. For Gen Z, the correlation is even more alarming, with some surveys showing over half say social media negatively impacts their mental health. The blue light from our screens, especially before bed, messes with melatonin production, leading to poor sleep, which then cranks up anxiety and creates a vicious cycle. We're also seeing a rise in what's called digital presenteeism, where you're online but not really focused, unable to go more than 15 minutes without the itch to check a device. This kills our ability for deep thought and just leaves us feeling, well, constantly overwhelmed. So the goal isn't to ditch technology, but to get it under your control. First, try creating no-phone zones and times. The most important one is the hour before bed. Just put your phone away and let your brain actually wind down. Second, turn off non-essential notifications. You decide where your attention goes, not some app. Third, consider trying digital detoxes. Start small, a few phone-free hours on a weekend, and build from there. And finally, curate your feeds. Unfollow accounts that make you feel anxious, inadequate, or angry. Your digital space should be a tool that serves you, not a source of constant stress. So, which of these digital habits do you find hardest to break? Let me know in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you're dealing with. Our fourth hidden risk is one many people think is healthy: the daytime nap. While a quick power nap can be great, recent research is uncovering a darker side to longer, more frequent napping. If you find yourself needing long naps, say an hour or more, just to get through the day, it might not be a sign of good self-care. It could actually be a major red flag for poor nighttime sleep or, a more serious underlying health issue. Recent eye-opening research has found that frequent and long naps are linked to a higher risk of death over several years. So, why would napping be risky? Researchers believe long naps don't actually health problems but are instead of them. The need for extended daytime sleep could signal issues like untreated sleep apnea, insomnia, or even systemic inflammation. Studies have connected naps longer than 30 to 60 minutes to a higher chance of having high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and a larger waist circumference, the key ingredients of metabolic syndrome. In one analysis, long naps were associated with a 30% greater risk of all-cause death. The nap itself isn't the killer. It's more like the warning light on your health dashboard that you might be ignoring. If you're a habitual long napper, first, take a hard look at your nighttime sleep. Are you getting a consistent 7 to 9 hours? Is it good restorative sleep? If not, focus on your sleep hygiene, a consistent schedule, a dark, cool room, and avoiding caffeine or heavy meals late at night. If you're still exhausted despite getting enough sleep at night, it's time to talk to a doctor. They can help rule out any underlying conditions. If you do enjoy a nap, just keep it short. Power naps of less than 30 minutes have been shown to boost alertness without being linked to these health risks. Our final hidden risk is the most pervasive of all: chronic stress. This isn't the stress of a single deadline or a tense moment. This is the low-grade constant pressure from financial worries, job insecurity, political turmoil, and the feeling of always being on. Our bodies are built for a fight-or-flight stress response, powered by hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. This system is designed to save us from immediate physical danger. But in modern life, the things we perceive as threats never really turn off. Our stress response system stays activated, flooding our bodies with hormones that aren't meant to stick around long term. This constant hormonal bath is incredibly corrosive. Chronic stress is directly linked to heart disease, a suppressed immune system, and digestive problems. It messes with your appetite, often leading to weight gain, and is a primary driver of anxiety, depression, and burnout. It literally wears your body down from the inside out, accelerating aging and hitting multiple body systems at once. It is the ultimate silent danger because we've normalized it. We just accept being stressed out as a part of life, ignoring the profound biological damage it's doing. You can't eliminate all stress, but you can absolutely manage your response to it. First, identify your major stressors and be honest about what you can and can't control. Second, build stress reduction techniques into your daily routine. This isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Things like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and even just progressive muscle relaxation are scientifically proven to calm your nervous system. Third, prioritize physical activity. Exercise is one of the most powerful stress buffers there is. Finally, protect your social connections. As we talked about, strong relationships are a powerful antidote to stress. Talking through your worries with someone you trust can make all the difference. These are 5 hidden health risks that could be silently chipping away at your well-being right now. From the metabolic chaos caused by our modern diet and the lethal impact of loneliness, to the anxiety from our digital lives, the deceptive warnings in our sleep, and the corrosive weight of chronic stress. The common thread through all of this is awareness. Being healthy in 2025 isn't about being paranoid or trying to avoid everything. It's about being informed and intentional. It's about recognizing that the biggest threats are often the quiet habits we repeat every single day. You have the power to take control. You can make small, deliberate changes that will have a massive impact on your long-term health. If this video opened your eyes to even one hidden risk in your life, please give it a like and subscribe for more content to help you take charge of your health. Make the choice to be aware. Your future self will thank you.